Okay. So I'm going to treat this assignment today. So since nobody for the past two classes, nobody attempted it. So I'm going to treat it today. This one. Um, if giving out as assignments is not going well, maybe I can easily stop giving the assignments, and then we just do the class. Then we move on. And David, that is no excuse. The, you cannot give me an excuse that you were not in the class, but you are on the platform, the WhatsApp platform. It was shared in there. That this is no excuse, right? It's no excuse at all. And assignments are designed to help you imbibe the concept taught in the class. If you do not practice, there's no way it will be part of you. It won't be second your it won't be you won't be very good at it. It is what you practice, that is what you will get better day by day on. I've said this many times, in fact, countless times. I can't even count any longer. So I'm going to bring up the visual code. So I will create a new file. So the first thing is create an HTML page. This is HTML page. So with what? Three buttons. Input. The first one says is to change the background of the page when clicked. So change the page, change page background. Second one says display an alert box with a custom message when click. Okay. Alert box. Visibility. Element visibility. Visibility. So I'm going to preview first to see these buttons. So I have change page background, alert box, and element visibility. So that is the first the first task. Is there any question on that? Is there any question on this? Okay, I will take your silence as no question. So the next thing is to write a JavaScript function for each button to handle the click events and perform the respective action. So this action that you need to toggle, you need to display alert box, you need to toggle visibility. So let us create, I'm going to create this element. This element when clicked. So I'm going to create that element, maybe a P element. So that's, we go to the browser. So this button should toggle this element, make it visible and make it disappear. So let us continue. If you have any question or you are not clear at any point in time, please stop me to ask your question. So I will create my script tag here. The first one, let me go to the instruction again. The first one is to toggle the background. Okay. So the background, I will create the style. So background, I will create a class targeting the body, this body element. And I will say background color. Let me make it beige. So if I go now to the browser to preview, okay, it's beige, but it's not that visible. Let me change it to a more visible color. Let me see blue or blue violet. Okay, let me try that. Oh, I've not added the what's it called, the class here, but uh, let us see. Let us see the effect. Yes, let me change back to that color first. Beige. Beige. Okay, this is much better. But I do not want to add this class at this point. I want my JavaScript to do that for me. So now I know that this is working. Now, the next one is, okay, first of all, let me conclude on that. So now I'm going to give this an ID so that I can easily latch on it. So I will call this one button 1, and I will call the others button 2 and 3. Is there any question? No question. So I will get the first element, document.get query selector ID of button 1. Then I'm going to add event listener to it, and that event listener is click. Then I'm going to give it the function handler, the event handler rather. So this event handler, what's going to do? Once it is clicked, I want to get what's it called? Um, I want to change the class. So I'm going to do document.query selector again. Dot class list dot toggle. We did this in the last class. So I'm going to add the body class to it, and that is all. So if I go back to the page, something has gone on. Hold on, please. Okay. Aha. So, oh, can you see what is going on? I'm changing the background of the button, which is not what, that is not the intention. So that is from here. It is the body, this body that we want to change. So body. So let's go back, refresh. Now it is toggling. Is there any question on that? Is there any question? David says, hold on, let me expand. Sir, it seems you have done the assignment in the previous recording. No, no, I've not. I've not done the assignment. So, is there any question on this before I move on? Okay, no question.
Sir, I have a question.
Okay, Mary.
Yes, sir. Good evening, sir.
Good evening.
Sir, is it because we've already styled it in CSS?
Okay.
Is that why it's working, or we can just write it inside the script, inside the JavaScript direct?
Okay, good. I think about 3 classes away or 2 classes away, I explain the concept behind what I just did. I'm going to say it again. Now there's what, let me go to the board. There is what is called the separation of concerns. We treated this some classes back. Now, what does separation of concern mean? Now, in your in the web technology, we have the HTML, we have the CSS, and we have the JavaScript. The job of the HTML is to structure. The job of CSS is to style.
Style
And the job of JavaScript is to add behavior.
behavior.
Now, some people, some developer, they will use JavaScript to do styling. This is wrong. What do I mean by styling? Let me show you. Let me go back to the other side. Now, instead of allowing the CSS to take charge here by just adding this body to this class dot body to the body element, instead of doing that, they will not add that class. They will just say the style dot background color and they will assign this value here, beige.
Which
I can uncomment this one just to tell you, to show you that this is not the one doing the work. If I go back to the browser, refresh, I click, you see the background has changed. If I click again, you can see it is not doing anything. It's not going because it's not toggling. Now, but the toggling effect can be done anyway. That is not even the issue. The point I'm trying to make here is this. Now we are using JavaScript. This is JavaScript.
yes.
To do styling. No. Let styling be done by CSS. Let HTML handle its structure. Some they will use JavaScript to add elements. Yes, it is possible. They can use like this P element now that I added here. They will use JavaScript to add it here. In some situation, right? Yes, you can do that, but there are better ways of handling it. You can, like what we are about to do now, you can see that I created a p tag here. Now I'm going to use JavaScript later to make it not to display on the browser. So it is like giving responsibility to who needs to do the job. The job of HTML is to construct the structure, like the p tag, the div, and blah, 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 and so on and so forth. And the job of CSS is to add style, which we did earlier on. So by doing this, right, it is CSS that is still doing the styling, right? We are only using JavaScript to add this class to this body element. If I go back to how it was before, our class list dot add. So I'm going to add back this
Body.
class, which is body. And that is a better approach to this. Let CSS handle the styling. Let HTML handle the structure. Then behavior. Now this is behavior. Let JavaScript add the behavior. So by doing this, we can now, oh, toggle. I forgot toggle.
Yes.
Is toggle, not add, we just add it. So now you can see it's toggling. That is the behavior. Now, if I go to the back end, right, elements, you will see that the body class, you look at it, the body class is added. You can see this is it here, the body class. If I remove it, you will see that the value for that attribute class is gone. You can see it's gone. If I click again, you will see it should be added. You can see that CSS is still the one styling this. The JavaScript is just adding behavior, whether to include the class body in the body tag or body element or to remove it. So this is what we call separation of concerns. Is that clear now?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
All right, thank you. So the next is this. Display alert box on the second button. So I'm going to add an event listener to this button too, which I will only copy this is because it's still a click event. So I will change this to button 2, click event, but the behavior will be different. And what is the behavior? Is just to do alert box. And that means alert box button got clicked. If I go to the browser, I can remove, I go away from that now. And I click alert box. You can see alert box button got clicked. If I click this, it's still working. So, is there any question?
No, sir.
No question. All right. I will go to the next instruction, which is toggle visibility. Visibility. In HTML and CSS, we talked about display. So if I have if I put a style on this here, let me call it class. And I put display, for example, display class or show class. Let me just use the word show. And I come here, do show, then I use the display property. I say, I think the value should be none. Let me see. Go to the browser. You can see it's gone, right? It's gone. So we are able to remove that P element just by applying this class to the what, to the P element. If I comment it out now, if I go back to the browser, you can see it's now back. So I'm going to uncomment and I'm going to remove this. I don't need it there. I'm going to use JavaScript just like what I did here.
Yes.
So this time around, I'm going to target button 3. It's still a click event. So this time I will target this button, this P element here. So document the queries by selector, the P element. Since it's just one element, the data is P, I can just easily use the P tag. So add class to it and toggle it. And I need to add this class, not body this time around. And that is it. If I go test my code, that is working. This is working. And this is now working. This is the assignment 2 classes ago. Is there any question?
No, sir.
No, sir.
So that is the solution. Mm. Now, I have I've taught you arrays. Yes or no?
Yes, sir.
I've taught you object, although not in depth at this superficial level. Yes, I've taught you object.
Yes, sir.
We go back into object from after this event so that we treat object thoroughly. We have treated functions thoroughly, and we have treated events thoroughly. Now, I want to show you this assignment. I've showed this before. Is to gather or capture, that's the right word, capture student data. Now, if I put Tola Ade 30 mail and I submit, one student registered, or I think let me do it again. Tola Ade 34, I think is lowercase that I did there. One student registered. If I say Jane Bush, 28, female, I submit. 2 students registration has been captured. I go ahead, Sean, Bisoye, 32, and male. 3 students registered. Josh, Biden, 30, male. 4 students registered. SA, Mary, Obama, 28, female. 5 students registered. Last one, let's say Feromi, Onoshoga, say 26, and female. 6 students registered. So I've been able to capture 6 students. If I click on reports, you can see student reports, 6 students registered. Out of these 6, I have 3 males and 3 females, and their average age is 29. So I want you to take this as an assignment. This is an assignment for you. Everything you need to do this assignment, I've taught. I've taught you events, especially the click events. I've taught you how to do average, and I've taught you how to use objects, array, and so on and so forth. So all you need to do is to bring these puzzles together to solve this task. So that is your assignment. Is there any question on the assignment before I move on? If you want me to run it again, I will run it again.
So is the assignment just to make something like this that works?
You said?
Is the assignment just to make something that looks like this, and then
Yes,
there's like
exactly. Yes. You create this page. Now the, technically there are the very first one I went to what's it called? Aside from here, you can see this is a form. Then I start clicking to submit the data. Then after that, I clicked on the report to generate. If I click now, you will see no data here, right? 000, because the one I imputed it has been erased. It's not a persistent data. So the moment I refresh, the data is gone. So until we get to backend where we are going to be doing database, that is where the data will persist. So you create this page with all these details, input the data, submit, right? Now I didn't input anything, right? Normally it shouldn't submit. We are still going to talk about validation later, but not now. So because a validation will ensure that the user feels these input data into these fields, right? Before he or she can submit. But now I will still bear with you, right? Just like I did. So you put in the data there and click report. Then you should have what the data right there at on this other page. This is another form. This is a form. This other one too is a form. So technically there are two forms on this single page. You can see the page is not changing. The page is, this is the page. If I click, you can see it's not changing. The two forms are on a page. That is the meaning of this. Is the two forms are on a page. Aha. So you use what I've taught you, bring all the puzzles together to solve this task. So there's no question from David. So is there any other question on this assignment? Okay, in the absence of question, so we have 8 more minutes, although the class started late. So we have 8 more minutes, and this other 8 more minutes. So I'm proceeding, or maybe I think I've concluded on this. I've concluded on this. Okay, I did not finish up this capturing phase. We only did the bubbling phase. Okay, let me round up events today, right? Then in the next class we will kick off objects in depth. So we are treating this in depth fully. So I know I've treated maybe the first 4, yes. So but we are going to do in-depth analysis or lecture on that. Now, in the last class, we treated the bubbling phase. The bubbling is when you click an inner element. Where is it again? Yes, this one. Let me close this one. Okay. Let me even open this one here. So now we treated, okay, let me just remove this, guys. We don't need it again. So that we can just clog our code unnecessarily. All right, let me see. Let me run this to be sure that just copy this address, paste right there. Okay, so we created these 3 divs, nested divs in the last class. Demola, yes or no?
Yes, sir.
Good. So now, okay, I think I've treated this with somebody before. Now, if you check, what is one saying? I saw something now. Okay. If you check, it says that we have 2 types of propagation: the capturing phase and the bubbling phase. The bubbling phase is inner outward. Bubbling phase is going from the the inner part of the nested div to the parent, then to the outer parent, in that direction. That is bubbling. But capturing phase goes from the outer parent to the inner child and down to the innermost part of the the nesting. So this is capturing phase, this is bubbling phase. So now to achieve either of these, right? There is what's it called, a boolean. A boolean, yes, this one here, that you need to include. If I think if I push back a bit, you will see it in the syntax somewhere, somewhere. I think I've passed it way before. The syntax. Okay, maybe I did not include it here. Yeah, this is it. Where is the pen again? This one here, this one. So it is optional. It is an optional what? Parameter. I think it should be set. Yeah, this one. You see, is optional. It's a boolean indicating whether to use event capturing. Default is what? False, and it is for bubbling. That is why if it is omitted, it will be bubbling if we do not stop the propagation. We treated propagation in the last class, how to use the stop propagation. I think it's somewhere around here. We use the stop propagation, this one, and the stop immediate propagation to stop the bubbling, and also we can use it to stop the capturing. So now it is just is a simple task of doing what? Adding the boolean there. If the boolean is missing, let's run it first. Boolean is missing. Refresh. If I click on this, you will see that the event kicks off from the innermost part of the nested divs. If I say okay, it will bubble to the next one, which is div 2. If got clicked, if I click OK, div1 got clicked. Now, if I change that parameter to true, just right here, comma, true, right? It will change the propagation method. If I click on this again, you can see instead of saying div3 got clicked, it started from the outer parent. If I click OK, you will see div2 got clicked. If I say OK, div3 got clicked. So that is capturing. So if you want to stop the propagation in whichever direction, all you need to add is the stop event to stop propagation. And for us to do that, we need to pass the event object. Let me pass the event object as I can use anything. Let me just use boring, so boring. So I do not need this one. It's optional, but let me leave it to show that we are still trying to do capturing. We are still trying to achieve that capturing phase. So now, inside these events, right inside, I will say event. No, boring, no, boring. That's the object. Dot stop propagation. I purposely used boring. It's just to prove to you that it is not compulsory for it to be event here. Yes, the general practice is to use the character E or the word event. Yes, this is the best practice. So normally I should have used that, but I just want to prove to you that you can use any variable here, right, to achieve the same thing. So if I go to the browser now, refresh, if I click capturing phase, if div1 got clicked, capturing phase, you start from the outermost div. I click OK, it will not propagate unlike before. So if I remove this boolean, which is now bubbling face, refresh, if I click on the div3, you will see div3 got clicked. When I say OK, and that is all, see this stop propagation. If I comment it out, you will see the bubbling coming back. Refresh, div3 got clicked, div2 got clicked, and div1 got clicked. So is there any question before I end the class today? No question. The class was initially 7:30. People were coming late. We agreed to start the class 8 p.m. and to end 9 p.m. As at 10 minutes past 8, if I am not mistaken, it was only Joshua that came in, I think, some few minutes past 8. Joshua himself did not even come 8 o'clock sharp. Now, we used, I think, less than 40 minutes for the whole class. And because the assignment was not done, the part of the minute that should have been fully devoted to the class itself, a chunk of it, a larger chunk of the time was used to treat assignments. It is all about choices. Life is all choices. So if you choose something, then you should be ready to accept the consequences. Every one of our choices, whether we like it or not, it has consequence. If we read, for example, let me pause, let me stop recording because there's no point for this talk to be on the record.